Good day, fellow investors. I got this comment from Harris, and he said that he can't afford to buy a home because the average home price is 500,000, 2,000 average monthly income, so can't afford to buy a home thanks to the European Central Bank, so I might as well just buy me some more income with dividend stocks instead. And what triggers me here is the word average, average. And because I get often such comments, I can't buy a home thanks to somebody else. So the blaming mindset that triggers me. And I really want to discuss how a fixed mindset might be losing you millions. And where am I now? Maybe me, billions. So it's always good to discuss mindset. As we said, the Harry situation is he's focused on averages, average incomes, and that's the most costly thing if you focus on average. If you think that average is okay, that average is normal, I know they teach us that in schools, wherever everything is linear, everything is average, everything should be the same. We are all the same. The truth is, we are all unique, not the same, not similar, but it is much easier to market things to similar masses than to 7 billion individuals. And it's up to you, where do you want to be? Average? Yes, it's easy. You get a job, you do something 40 years for someone that doesn't even care about you, and it's all your choice. But I simply went off average, and I'll tell you my story towards the end, and it has been mind blowing, such a better experience than you will see later, my real average. So when somebody has this fixed average mindset, I get simply triggered. Harry here is already better than most because he focuses on dividend income stocks, so he is building something. But as we live in a world of extremes, these are the richest people in the world, and look at the extreme wealth there. Nothing to say against that, but 45% of Americans and likely people in the rest of the world have zero savings. 45% have zero. So 45% of America have much less than Abigail Johnson here, or the Fontbona family, or Susan Clayton. I don't know these people. This is insane. And less than 1,024%. That's 70% of people have less than 1,000. And only 6% have 50,000 of more. So when it comes to this, it's up to you to see what you want to focus on the averages, and think that your situation is fixed, or change your situation. What's the key issue that I would discuss with Harry? It's not ECB, it's not home prices, it's his income that is average. Why don't you double your income? In this world, if you are from the European Union or from the US, everybody, anybody with below average IQ, so if the average is 100, if you have above 68, you can make 10 times the average money out there. It's just a matter of focus. So that's my first message. My second message is something you have to be very, very careful of, and that is thinking in averages. So everyone thinks the average home price, I don't know, 400,000, 500,000, but let's take the Netherlands. So the average is made by Amsterdam, and let's put here a price, I don't know what is the right average, but here 4,000 to 450,000, and this is what you get. And if you go to the center of Amsterdam, towards the center of Amsterdam, you can buy a boat for that money, very nice boat. An ex-colleague of mine lived in it, so he even better position, he bought it here for 250, now it's probably much more. But you can buy an apartment of 50 square meters, 500 square foot for 400,000. That is something you can do in Amsterdam. But if you go away from Amsterdam, you go For example, let's see here, which is an hour and 10 minutes from Amsterdam. My grandparents used to live here, then they moved here, I think somewhere, and they also lived here when I was really a kid. Here prices are much different. So for 400,000 you get a house 4 5 times as bigger as in Amsterdam. You have to be very careful when it comes to averages, because the average statistical is this. Then you have extremes in location, but also extremes around the place. When I was buying a home in the Netherlands, what was very funny was that when I bought it here, and if we take away, there were two equal houses. One was here, and the price when I bought my house was 450,000 and my house was 280. What was the difference? That house was completely painted, refurbished, finished. My house, I needed to work 2 months on it. For me, it was a great deal, and that's how averages are made. And if you focus on the average and you have the fixed mindset, you lose millions yourselves because you block yourself. When I was buying a house there, everyone was saying, oh, it's not the time to buy, prices are going down. 2015. What would you give to have now 2015 prices? Keep in mind, back then, nobody wanted to buy because of this fixed average mindset, and that's what triggers me and therefore the rant here. And now let me share how I fixed my fixed mindset, because I had a fixed mindset too when I was young and foolish. So, 2008, I had a great job. My grandfather said, you have everything you could dream of. My salary was 500 per month. Yes, 500 per month was my salary. Later, when I made the state exam, it went to 700. Yes, and that was a great job where I come from. Compare it to what most of you make. I was just average in the community, or better than average, because I had a great job, education, stable job. And then I wasn't that happy with it. So what did I do? I went to do my PhD. That could lead to an increase in salary. I think that was 700 and then another 15% more. Okay, but as I did my PhD, I said maybe there is more in life. So I got the job in Bloomberg. Then I learned to speak English. Yes, I didn't speak English 10 years ago. But when I went to London, I had to learn it, and then I learned it. And that again increased my potential for income. And in 2015, when I moved to the Netherlands, I wasn't Sven from Croatia, I was Sven from London. My salary went to 4K net per year. Plus, I learned English. I learned to focus, I learned to sit on my behind and do the necessary work, which is what I learned the most by doing a PhD. And my salary quadrupled, quintupled, because I changed myself, because I changed my fixed mindset. And on top of that, I started writing articles daily for an American scammer, and I made another 2,500. And that was great. But then I went forward, and started my YouTube book research platform, and the rest is history. This took me 15 years. 15 years. So, yes, I changed, but I changed things over 15 years. So don't feel bad that you are stuck somewhere. Just give yourself a decade, and as they say, you always underestimate what you can make in a decade and overestimate what you can make in a year. You want to buy a house immediately, you want to finish college and immediately be Steve Jobs or something, but you can just give it yourself 10 years. My life is now exponential, and I have to pick where to put my effort and where to make it grow. And I think there is always infinite potential. You have to provide value, you have to focus on the quality, but also having time to think, assess, pause, and go forward. Because in life, everything compounds. Your knowledge, your skill, your health, your eating compounds in yourself. I have to work on that too over time because I want to compound everything the best I can. When I read this, I get really triggered because if you think like this, yes, you get something here, you are a saver, but you are losing millions because you are not focused on the potential in life. Hope you enjoyed this short little rant. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.